the tips from our guest speaker. And she's not new to you. She's actually seasoned debater from college, and she is also the debate moderator in Davao Christian High School. So she's your grade 8 teacher before. So let me call in Ma'am Neka.
Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to our English 8 class. Okay, so our goal today is to unleash the debater in you. So how do we get to be a good debater? Remember that our goal here is to speak effectively. Okay, so that's the first step to becoming a good debater. So I hope that you guys have interest in debating as well. I know Mang Farah have explained the roles and the different mechanics for debate, and I hope you were able to take note of that because that's very important. Now we proceed to how do we present ourselves as the speaker and how do we deliver our speech, which is very important. This is just a very short discussion on how to be a good debater. So we have here number one, we have to answer the question, why do we need to speak up? Okay, remember that in debating, the debate is the arena of ideas and perspectives, and how we deliver our constructives. So our speech in debate, we call it constructives, would change the game. So it is the game changer, how we deliver it. Okay, so how do we get to be a good debater? How do we deliver our speech? I will be giving you 5 tips to becoming a good debater. So just remember the 5 things. First, we have to be very objective with our speech. We have to choose our words wisely. We have to listen and take note. We have to be careful with our sources. And we have to believe in what we speak. So one by one, we will discuss each, okay? Are you guys excited? Because I'm so excited. Okay, let's go to number one. Very important class or debaters, should I address you debaters, you have to be objective in your speech. Remember that your personal take on whatever topic you may be assigned to defend should not get in the way. This means that whatever the motion may be, to say for example, because the coin will usually decide on what side you will have to defend, no matter how engaged you are to, for example, it's about abortion and you are anti-abortion, no matter how much you want to defend the opposition, but if you get to pick the government side, you have no choice but to be objective in your goals. You have to deliver the speech, you have to argue in the best way that you could without your emotions interfering. Okay, this also goes to not attacking your opponents personally. So say for example, you know your opponent personally and you are friends and you know that that person is against that, for example, motion. And then you will say, you are on that side, but I know personally that you are with me, that you agree with me. So that's not allowed in debate. So you have to be objective. Remember that. No emotions, no personal emotions allowed. Okay, always put it in your mind that you have to be objective with whatever you have to speak and defend. So that's number one. Remember that, okay? That's be objective. Now let's proceed to number two. Choose your words wisely. As a debater, you have to remember that while it is important to build up strong cases to advance your side, because it's very important in debate, remember that you are held accountable for whatever you say, and it could make or break your team. That means whatever you say may be used against you if the opponent or the opposition is good at taking down note of whatever you say. So say for example, we had an example a while ago for abortion, and if the motion says this house supports abortion and government and opposition, so say for example, you are at the government side, you support abortion, and the other one is opposition, they do not support abortion. Now, so say for example, if the opposition would say, I am the speaker from the opposition. One reason may be, I do not support abortion because I am pro-life. So say for example, that's my case. Now, if I am a wise listener from the other side, that would lead to number three, which we have to listen and take note. I would say that if the person from the opposition said that he is against abortion because he is pro-life, on the government side, I could say, if you are pro-life, then whose life are we protecting here alone? Is it the life of the mother? Is it the life of the baby? If and so on, and the argument goes on. So that only means that would manifest that whatever you say should be held, you will be held accountable for whatever you say, and you have to be very careful about it, because it will lead to number three, which would, we have to take into account all the important arguments that the opponents say. You have to be very keen. You have to listen to every word while you are also taking down notes, because this is the best way to construct your rebuttals. I'm pretty sure Ma'am Farah explained to you what rebuttals are and how important rebuttals are. So when you rebut, meaning you have to like attack the opponent based on what they said. You have to you have to kill their argument. So you have to remember, in that way, this is your build up. Once you listen and take note of their arguments, your build up is this: construct your rebuttals based on what they said. You have to argue, and you can also help your teammates if you miss something, because there are three speakers in a team, right? Now, if Prime Minister missed or were not able to rebut what the leader of the opposition said, because Prime Minister goes first and then leader of the opposition, as you as the second speaker should help the first speaker, whatever arguments or cases did the first speaker miss to defend. Okay, meaning debate, no matter what happens, although you are focused on your argument, it should always be a team play. You have to be very mindful with what your next speaker should speak, what your teammate should speak, what your teammate was not able to defend. So it's a responsibility, it's a collaboration, okay? It's a collaborative effort. You have to defend each other, okay? And that way you will be strong, okay? So you have to build up your cases properly. So remember number three. Number four, here, be careful with your sources no matter what happens. Why? Because a reliable source, when used accordingly, should most probably count as valid. Actually, this is the exact wording of debate content. Usually we use most probably because we do not want the opponents to say, you said that this, blah, 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 and then your defense should be, I said most probably. Meaning there's a space for argument, there's a space for claiming that it's not exactly what you claim for. It's about playing safe, actually. So you have to be very careful with your sources. Now, I specified here, used accordingly. Because even if you got the right source, statistics and all, if you were not able to use them properly in your argument without citing the proper sources, putting it or using it as a reliable, constructive to your speech, and it's not relevant, it won't count as valid. I remember before, there was a debate round, and the opponent raised a POI. Remember POI, where you have the chance to ask the speaker a question. So the speaker rose a POI, and the POI was acknowledged, and the speaker said, "Where is your source?" Okay, and the speaker was not able to put the source in the speech, so the speaker said, "There, in my bag." So that would be valid. You will be the butt of the joke in the debate round. So please be careful with your sources. Now the question is, how do we get sources, ma'am, if the debate won't allow us to bring our phones or any source materials in an actual debate? That's the reason why debaters should study, extensive study. Some debaters from before, I would tell them to study the matter, so that will be matter loading. They have to research a lot. So if you were given the task, if your round is, for example, today, you should have studied a lot a day before that, or even weeks before that, if you really want to prepare. So starting now, you read different sources, current events. So that's the best way that you could get your best sources. The last one, which is the most important one really, is to believe in what you speak. Debaters, this means that for a speech to be persuading, you must sound convincing. Above all people, okay, it is you that should be the source of a very convincing speech. Even if you don't really believe if what you're saying is true, because you're not sure if you can convince the adjudicators or even your opponents, you have to appear convincing. And by that, you have to input conviction in what you say, okay? So in this side, so you have to maintain eye contact if this is an actual debate. or you can look at the camera, or really believe in what you say, okay? It's you're the one who should believe in yourself first in whatever you deliver. Because you know what? The key there is it's about confidence. Not every debater really knows if what they're saying is true or valid, but it really changes the game if you are really confident in what you say. So remember that one. So again, we have 5 tips. Okay, so please remember these tips because I know some of you may want to debate sooner in college. If you want to take up debate, okay, so you have to remember number one, you have to be objective. Number two, choose your words wisely. Listen and take note. Be careful with your sources and believe in what you say. And that would be here debaters. So good luck on your debate rounds.